Alright, what's going on everybody? So a few hours ago, the Xbox Games Showcase just wrapped, and I wanted to go ahead and just give my thoughts about this. This is going to be pretty much off the cuff. I'm not going to go over everything that they showed, but I will kind of highlight some of the big announcements and stuff. So to start off, altogether, if I had to give this a grade, I'd probably give it like a B-. I thought this was a lot better than Sony's Showcase for multiple reasons. The first of which being that they had a lot more surprises. The biggest surprise at the PlayStation Showcase was Phantom Blade Zero, and I guess you could say Metal Gear, but that's been rumored for a while. A few of these big announcements came from Capcom, Atlas, and In Exile, which is one of Xbox's first-party studios. The trailer for the new action game from Capcom, Path of the Goddess, looked really interesting. Very gorgeous looking, colorful visuals with a very Japanese aesthetic to everything. There were also parts of the trailer that looked pretty creepy. Kinda hard to tell what's going on narratively based on what we've seen, but it looks like you'll be going around cleansing people while fighting monsters. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on this one since I like action games. I just hope this isn't another Pragmata situation where the game gets announced and then we hear nothing about it in like 2 years. Another game nobody saw coming was from Atlas as they finally unveiled Project ReFantasy, which is now officially titled Metaphor ReFantazio. While the art style looks more akin to Fire Emblem, mechanically it seems to be a fusion of modern SMT and Persona. It looks cool, but they need to improve the frame rate. Now unfortunately, Persona 3 Reload and Persona 5 Tactica were leaked beforehand on Thursday. If it didn't, this would have been an exciting announcement on top of finally seeing ReFantasy. It's worth mentioning that all these games will be exclusive for a couple days before going to other platforms, and they will also be available on Game Pass. Clockwork Revolution was another cool surprise from In Exile, the developers of the Wasteland series. Visually, it's reminiscent of games like Dishonored and Bioshock with the steampunk aesthetic. The graphics aren't exactly jaw-dropping, but the time travel plot could be interesting. Unfortunately, apart from those surprises that I mentioned, there were just way too many low points, such as when they were showing stuff like 33 Immortals, that climbing game from Dotnod, or Flight Simulator. And as always, I feel like they spend way too much time on Forza. At this point, everyone should know what to expect from that series. The biggest problem that I had with this showcase was that there just wasn't enough gameplay, especially from first-party titles like Fable and Hellblade 2. Considering that Hellblade 2 was the first Xbox Series game ever announced, it's ridiculous that we still don't have gameplay. Aaron Greenberg wasn't lying, we didn't get CG trailers, but instead we got a lot of in-engine cinematics. To make matters worse, there were a lot of no-shows, like the Gears of War studio, The Coalition, Compulsion Games, The Initiative with Perfect Dark, Machine Games with Indiana Jones, Undead Labs with State of Decay 3, just to name a few. What are these studios doing? Where were they? Listen, I get that they can't all show up at one time, but some of these studios have been working on their projects for quite a while. They should have been ready to show something. The best thing we got from Xbox's first party was Avowed and Starfield. Honestly, Avowed was the only previously announced first party title that looked great and actually had substantial gameplay. Obsidian is definitely one of Xbox's best studios, so there's no doubt in my mind that they'll surpass Bethesda with Skyrim. As for Starfield, the stuff that they showed at the Direct was pretty impressive in terms of features. It's looking like the ultimate space simulator from what they showed. The Starfield Direct kinda made up a little for the insufficient amount of gameplay from other titles. All in all, I thought Microsoft put together a much better presentation this time around compared to last year's underwhelming show. The pacing could have been better in terms of where some games were positioned, and of course, we're still in the dark regarding the rest of Team Xbox. Still, this felt like more of a proper showcase compared to PlayStation's a few weeks ago. Anyway, let me know what y'all thought about it in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching.